Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria 3, where we are currently ticking right along here. Things are going fairly well for us. Now, when are we going to have this 5% malice expire here? That's going to be 20 months. Okay, that's pretty close to the end of the game. We're getting there. I don't think that this episode will be the end of the game, but it might be next episode at this rate. We will see. So for now, things are going quite well for us. We're in a pretty good spot, all things considered. We are in so much better of a spot than when we started, that's for sure. As we can see here, our GDP has significantly increased. It's taken a while, but we are definitely on a big upswing. Our standard of living is doing well as well. Our literacy, very, very well. And our population growth, we're growing at a rate of 40k per annum, so that looks excellent. Now, the main issue right now is we have too many peasants. We need to get those people put to work. So that is absolutely understood. We've also got a lot of dependents, but right now we need to get these peasants to work. So we're going to get this tooling workshop built in Michigan. Then we're going to get this power plant built in Illinois. Now, we just got a privatization of a power plant, and that will keep us afloat for a very long time here. So that seems great. We're working on privatizing the power plants in Minnesota. Okay. I would like to see that be a little bit different, but I'd like to see an actual private construction. Unfortunately, that's not what's happening. So we're just going to have to max out our construction with public construction. For the time being, that's okay. So we're going to get our tooling workshop in Michigan finished here. That will definitely help our economy significantly to bring down the price of tools. So let's let that finish. That's finishing now. Okay, so now if we take a look at our tooling workshop here, we can see the price of tools here in Michigan is about the same as the overall price. But we can definitely get some production of tools going, and that will be good. The price of steel is definitely a significant issue here, and I would like to do something about that. Luckily, we are. So this steel mill in Michigan is going to be expanding in 48 weeks here. And it's actually going to be a little faster than that, to be honest. But we are maxed on our production of steel mills, so that seems absolutely fine. So this power plant in Illinois is going to be done in 17 weeks. And then the majority of our construction will flip over to this steel mill. And that will... Let's check in on our trade routes for now, and we'll see how things are going here. Hang on. Something isn't right. Where's our bad trade routes? All trade routes. Okay. Apparently we don't have any bad trade routes. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, let's take a look at what we've got for export here. So, this is... Oh, wait, we're in the Confederate market. Hang on. I knew something was funky there. This is more like it. Okay, that'll do the trick. So we're subsidizing the production and export of artillery. We need to import fish. We have no domestic source of fish, despite having these very large lakes here that apparently the game thinks there are no fish in. I disagree, but that's neither here nor there. This export of wood is technically negative, so we'll get rid of that. This import of oil is technically negative. We'll get rid of that as well. This export of porcelain we can get rid of, and everything else looks good. Okay, let's see what we've got for potential exports here. There are no options. Okay. That's odd. But sure. We could import steel. There's no options available there either. Interesting. No one is willing to trade with us in addition to what we already have. That's fascinating. So I want to check in on how that oil reduction is being dealt with in our oil rig. Okay, this is absolutely fine. I'm just looking at the price of oil here and I'm thinking, we have no issue here. Of course, the price of engines and the price of transportation is a bit rough. We will be addressing those once this motor industry gets built. That's about a year away. That will be done. So that looks decent for now. Looks like we're planning on expanding glassworks in Wisconsin next. Do we really need glassworks here? Like, let's look at our existing glassworks, which I believe are over here in Michigan. This is mediocre. I guess it's okay. I think we have a glasswork. No, we don't have a glasswork in Minnesota. Okay, so it's mediocre. It's mediocre. No way around that. So I don't love it, but it is going to give us an opportunity to cut taxes. So we can come in here and we can cut our taxes down to at least here. I'm actually thinking to here. We've got a good amount of money right now, and we can just spend at a deficit for a while. But this does mean it's going to take longer to get all of this constructed. We're going to get our power plant in Illinois completed in this week. So all of our public construction funding is going to be going into this steel mill. So that's going to be 17 more weeks. Okay, that's really not bad. So that seems fine. Industrial grade materials, they want a steel import? No. We are going to make steel. We're not going to import steel right now. So that's fine. The industrialists are going to be upset, but they can do that if they like. I'm sure it'll be fine. What's our unrealized taxes? 1.85? Okay. Yeah, we should try to sit at this level of taxation for a while and work down our radicalism. So that'll be a good thing. Now, over here in Illinois, we can go to assembly lines for our furniture manufacturing because we just finished a power plant here. The logging camps can go to electric sawmills and should be on rail transportation as well. So we can do that. I don't think we need any hardwood production here. That should be fine. American Reactionary Revolt, huh? Okay. So anything else that needs to be done here in Illinois? I think for now, that's about the best we're going to do. So we're going to hire in on this power plant. We probably have a power shortage here in Illinois right now, but that's okay. We'll find an equilibrium there over time. So yeah, electricity shortage currently in Minnesota and Illinois. This just means we need to hire people in here and possibly reduce the price of engines. So our motor industry here, that's got a +1 on it. Right, because we were going to increase this motor industry. I'm actually leaning against that right now. I'm thinking about putting one into Michigan right now. And yes, I'm aware of the historical parallel with putting motor industries in Michigan. Definitely, I'm aware of this. But we're going to do this, and the reason why I want to do it this way is because I want this to be specifically on engine production. We're going to produce automobiles in Wisconsin and engines in Michigan, which is not exactly parallel to history, but close enough. So that's a significant steel shortage. What's going on with this? Minus 200 is a lot. We can't import any steel. So what is going on with our steel price? Where is all of our steel going? Construction sector, tooling workshops. Yeah, I guess that's understandable. Bolt-action rifles are now available for our arms industries, and I believe there was a foreign construction that built an arms industry. So we can now take that up to bolt-action rifles. That'll be good. Okay, so that's fine. We're going to finish this steel mill soon. I'm kind of thinking we might need more steel production, because minus 200 is a significant shortage. No doubt about that. Each one of these produces 120 per level. Okay. I'm going to queue up one more, and I'm going to put it here. So we're going to get this steel mill done in 2 weeks. That's going to get the majority of this short. Actually, I'm going to put this steel mill down here because this motor industry is going to drive more demand for steel. We're still going to be at a slight shortage of steel, but that's understood. So we'll get that finished. Film has been unlocked, and this steel mill should start hiring in very, very quickly. Okay, so there we go. We'll let this the market all update here. Steel is currently expensive, but is not shortaged. Okay. Yeah, this looks pretty ideal right now. So we're going to continue to work on that. Perfect. Still a bit of a hardwood shortage going on here. This logging camp there's no one employed here. Electricity and engines are the expense. So getting our motor industry here built might solve that. We're working on our final electrification though, and we'll get that finished soon enough. Actually, I'm looking at the timing here and how long we've been in this episode, and I'm thinking we might actually hit the end of the game this episode. That might happen. We're making good time here. No doubt about it. So this is saying 14 months on this. Now, if we hit the end of the game, I'll probably play a little bit beyond the end just to finish out this episode if that ends up being the case. But look at that. We've now hit 5 million on our GDP, and we're just continuing to soar. We're number 55 in the world. We're not in the top 10 of GDP, but we've got a long ways to go on that. If you look at our population here, our population is number 73. So we're doing pretty well on this front. We're number 18 in GDP per capita, and that's going to continue to improve over time. Looks like our private construction is done, and we're working on expanding steel mills in Wisconsin. Actually, if that's going to be the case, I'm going to wait until this actually starts construction, but if this is going to be the case, then we will cancel this steel mill. This should no longer... So that would be wonderful. We're up to 70% on that right now. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that for the moment. Our radicalism has started to go back up. Hilarious. What's our current legitimacy? 76, so we're just barely in legitimate government. Do we want to try to change to universal suffrage again? This would be RNG, but we could give it a go. Might as well. We'd love to do that. Industrialists are now trying to do tax avoidance. Hilarious. Plus 5% workforce ratio from the trade union, so okay. So that's, you know, interesting. Our number of peasants has actually dropped, so it's roughly been halved. That's good. That means that we are building fast enough. So that's absolutely... I was concerned that our population was growing out of control from our job construction pool, so this is good. This is good to see. The steel mill is still what is being planned to be built. That could reevaluate before it gets actually queued up here. So we'll just give it a few more week ticks, and it should, in theory, start expanding the steel mill in Wisconsin. And that would be fantastic to see. I'd be really, really happy to see a steel production plant go in there. Again, if that happens, we cancel this. So that will be fine. Checking in here, we can see 49.4, 48.8, so the number of peasants is still drifting downward. That's a good sign. That means that they're getting employed in places like this power plant, this railway, places that are relatively low, but demand is becoming more robust across the board. That's very, very good. This logging camp is struggling, but that's fine for now. Demand becoming more robust, and ooh, look at that. There's a war machine industry being built, probably by Britain, in Indiana. We can check that. Yeah, that's being built by Britain. So that is absolutely understood. That steel mill is being built, so let's cancel this one. Perfect. So, everything is looking great at this point. We're running a very, very small deficit. This is absolutely fine. We don't mind this. In fact, we could even cut taxes a little bit further. Let's cut taxes to here. I'd love to harvest some of these unrealized taxes, and we'll get some of that. We're still at the 5% malice for our bureaucracy. When is that going to go away? 4 months. Okay. Sounds good. So that's understood. We're going to continue to run a small deficit to boost our standard of living even further. And the idea behind this is our radicalism will slowly come down over time, and our unrealized taxes will improve. You can see we're already at 1.43 instead of 1.8, so that is looking decent. Now, we are eventually going to finish that steel mill, and that's going to be in 28 weeks in Wisconsin. Okay, that sounds good. So our power plant in United Indian, Ohio is going to be done in 5 weeks. That one's going to be a bit of a money pit, I suspect. United Indian, Ohio is a kind of weird place. Development there is usually fairly low priority for that reason. So we'll just go ahead and build this here in another 4 weeks, now 3. Looking good. And our motor industry in Michigan is going to be coming through after that, hopefully properly reducing the price of engines. The price of automobiles is pretty up there too, so expanding our motor industries in Wisconsin is not a terrible idea. Actually, this is already built. I'm going to do both. So this is already partially built here. Yeah, I'm going to work on primarily the motor industry in Michigan for right now, but the motor industry in Wisconsin is also going to get queued up here. And the reason I decided to do that is because the automobile price is high and this is maxed out here. Now, the Michigan motor industry is going to drop the price of engines. And that's understood. So we'll get there. We stalled right away on this. Okay. Well, that's not ideal. We're going to get a setback on that. That's understood. So this trade route is, or was, inactive. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got for our trade routes here. So this export is bad. This export is bad. We need to import rubber. We have to. This export is fine. This one is fine. We have no domestic consumption of these. This export we can get rid of. This export we can get rid of. And this export we can get rid of. Okay, so that looks good for now. That puts us back positive in our bureaucracy, even with the timed modifier. So that is really, really good. Protectionism, no. That did lose us some legitimacy, and that's not bad. That's still at 75. Remarkable. Okay, -1 standard of living. Sure. So we can see our unrealized taxes are down to 996. Oh, this is right. We didn't stall again. This is just a setback from going down to 0%. That's fine. Not a major concern there. Okay, a web of distrust here. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not ideal. Definitely not ideal at all. But it's fine for the moment. So we're just continuing to press forward with these motor industries. Let's take a quick peek at what our goods prices are feeling like. Tools are still a bit up there. Okay, so let's take a look at the tooling workshops here in Michigan and in Wisconsin. They are both maxed out. Okay, we have more job seekers in Michigan, so I'm going to build a tooling workshop here, although I don't want this at the top of the queue. I actually want this at the... maybe here. Tooling workshops doesn't bring in additional engines. Or rather, it doesn't cost additional engines. But many of... oh, that was awkward. Many of these things here that are flashing around right now, many of these things do require engines in their production. So tooling workshops will indirectly drive the demand for engines. So that is absolutely fine. I'm good with that. That sounds good. Great Britain is enforcing military access. Good luck with that, Britain. So we're up to 5.4 million at this point in our GDP, and our GDP is just continuing to soar. And this is exactly what we want to see. We are on the exponential curve at this point. We're on the exponential curve for our pop as well, although our population has dropped a little bit, our pop growth. This is not a significant drop. I'm relatively okay with it. Our number of radicals is kind of holding despite our tax cuts, which isn't great. Everybody's above the minimum expected standard of living on aggregate, though. So, I mean, I guess I'm kind of fine with it. So the most impactful factors here are decreases in standard of living and events and other reasons. And then this is increases in standard of living and pops dying. So we can see that on the whole, our radicals are increasing at this moment, but it's a little bit awkward. It's a little awkward. So there's pasteurization unlocked. That's a bunch of new production methods for ranches. I mean, we really can only utilize one of those, and that is going to be, where are we? In our livestock ranches here, we can go to refrigerated storage. So we're going to do that. That'll cause some productivity issues. For the moment, that's okay. We can also go to film art here, which will drive more tool consumption and electricity consumption. I'm okay with that. Electric streetlights? Yes. That's probably going to drive more electric consumption as well. For the moment, that's okay. So over here in United Indian, Ohio, are you not on rail transportation? Correct, you are not. You should be. So we'll do that. That'll be fine. And we should also make sure that everything here that can be is on electrical production. So electric sawmills here is now fine. As far as the oil rigs go, they're as good as they're going to get. Although we could definitely use another oil rig, I think. We may want to consider doing that sooner rather than later. So maybe about here. Okay. That seems relatively fine. Relatively fine. So back in here, the maize farms, not too much to be done here. Tobacco plantations, that's fine. Vineyards are okay. Our power plants are where they need to be for the moment, and the railway is where it needs to be for the moment as well. We do need to get this motor industry done. Engines. So we will get there. That's 6 weeks away at this point. Actually, it'll be a little faster than that because the steel mill will be done in 2 weeks. So that looks good. An arts academy for the private construction. Okay, whatever. I'm not a huge fan of that, but it is okay. I'm actually thinking this might not be the final episode. You will know, by the way, because if it's the final episode, it'll say conclusion in the title. This may or may not be the final episode. We will find out. So there's now an iron mine being built up here. Is that a... Britain is building a bunch of iron mines. Okay, we'll take it. That seems fine. That's a lot of money. Okay, we did not get anything out of that. That's unfortunate. We'll try to get universal suffrage passed, but I'm not holding my breath on that one. So let's get our motor industry in Michigan completed. That is going to be done right now. There we go. And that seems fantastic. So this motor industry over here, this is going to immediately be producing engines, and in theory, quite a lot of them. We're not producing automobiles. This is exclusively engine production over here. So I want to see what that's going to do to this motor industry. It's still doing pretty well for now, although that is going to cut into it a little bit. This motor industry increase is on the bottom for a reason, so that'll be fine. The oil rig will be okay, and then the tooling workshop will go in after that. So that's all looking relatively fine. We're up to 5.4 million at this point. Our GDP is growing by leaps and bounds, and Britain is investing heavily in us as well. I want to point that out. So that's not a terrible thing. We can always nationalize the iron mines away from them, so that'll be fine. They're also building a motor industry elsewhere, but that's not in our territory. So these iron mines will be okay. We don't necessarily need more iron mines, to be honest. I don't know why Britain's doing that, but sure. It'll be fine to have the option to export more if need be. So in that regard, we can hop in here and we can see what we might want to export. So sulfur is an okay export. Dyes sounds good. There's some decent wood here. Both of these are actually good wood exports. I like it. Some fertilizer. Sure, that seems okay. Iron. We're going to want to export some iron, almost certainly. Surprisingly, sugar is positive. No wine. Grain is not all that surprising that it's positive. Okay, so something along the lines of that looks good. So we'll get some of those exports going. We'll get rid of them eventually. And this hardwood shortage, I don't know, it just feels like we don't have enough hardwood demand to really maintain any hardwood production. And that's why this is going back and forth. We're losing our power ranking because our prestige is too low. Why is our prestige low right now? Well, in part, it's going to be because of our very low government wages. I don't care about our government rank, though. That's kind of irrelevant to me. We're actually position 32 in the world, which is remarkable. We're doing very well, all things considered. So this Arts Academy is going to be finishing up soon. I'm not a huge fan of that. That's going to cause some potential issues, so that's understood. Our standard of living is higher than it's ever been, and our radicals just don't care, so that's exciting. That's very exciting indeed. How much is that affecting our unrealized taxes? Some. But mostly I think that's our bureaucracy, so that's understood. We have a maize farm being queued in Wisconsin after this. Okay, that looks fine. So our oil rig in United Indian, Ohio is going to be done soon, and then we're going to work on that tooling workshop. We're currently net negative, or net positive here. Is that true? It remained true on that tick. We might be able to cut taxes again here. Okay, barely negative. I don't think we'll quite cut taxes yet. We're close to cutting taxes, though. What would we lose if we got rid of our consumption tax on tobacco? Actually, I'm willing to cut this tax. So we'll get rid of that for now. And that puts us at 98 authority. That's awkward. But that's absolutely fine for the moment. That will significantly drop the price of tobacco for people here who were paying quite a lot for tobacco. So that sounds good. And this private construction maize farm will address the price of grain, which is already pretty high. You can see our GDP currently chilling at 6.08 million. Beautiful. So that is wonderful. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I strongly suspect next episode will be the final episode in this series. We have made a lot of progress here, that's for sure. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time. By the way, our GDP per capita, check this out. We're at number 10.